What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm waiverwirequeen. Today, we're going to talk about sleepers who have the potential to help you win your fantasy football league. My definition of sleepers are pretty much that. Players that are slept on, players that, aren't being prioritized in the draft, and they have the potential to really make an impact on your team. Sometimes you hit on these sleepers, sometimes you miss. I'm going to give you players that you're going to hit on and they're going to help you throughout the season. Don't always have to hit a home run and get the top guys. There are some of those sleepers who will help you win. And we're going to talk about them. Let's go.
To the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast with Waiver Wire Queen.
All right, y'all. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you play fantasy football and you're looking for great content, which is going to help you prepare for your upcoming season to help you achieve your ultimate goal to win your league. We have a lot of great material, which will help you achieve all of your goals in fantasy football. And the most important goal, win your league. So let's talk about sleepers. Again, sleepers. There are so many terms you can use to pretty much describe a sleeper. A player who obviously no one is really checking for. A sleeper can be a player that people know about, but they're not prioritizing. And so you have the opportunity to prioritize that sleeper a little bit earlier than everyone else in your league, because these guys, again, will help you win your league. They may even be players that are good to come off your bench when you are dealing with injuries, bye weeks, and things like that. Again, I always say that your team is not just your starters. You have to have a solid bench because there are going to be injuries. So these guys, again, will help you throughout the season because they're sleepers, and it could be for several different factors. And when I talk about each player, I'll give you the reasons on why I feel they are sleepers. Let's talk about who we have on this list. So my first sleeper is going to be Gerald Everett. Yes, Gerald Everett, tight end with the Chargers. I think I have him on my list every damn year, and he hasn't produced yet. Last year was supposed to be the year with the Seahawks, and we already know that that was not the year at all. This is going to be the year simply because he is going to be playing with one of the top 5 young dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL, and Justin Herbert. Yes, one of my favorites, maybe my favorite. And that offense is really high powered and really good. So that is simply why he is on this list. Okay, he's on this list because he can't miss. You cannot miss this. Okay, now if you're in a 2 tight end league, this player, Everett, is perfect for you in a 2 tight end league because you already know 2 tight ends you got to start. So you're going to want to at least have 1 or 2 more tight ends on your bench to help you. He is in a perfect situation to have a career year. The question is he going to disappoint like he did with Seattle? I don't think so. I think this is going to be it. I'm crossing my fingers. I believe so because, again, Justin Herbert, enough. That is it. That's all I have to say. That is why he is on this list. He's a player that I would draft late. You don't have to prioritize him early. It's a no-brainer. If you have Justin Herbert, you can prioritize Everett late, especially in a 2 quarterback league, and definitely a player who may be able to help you sometimes in DFS as well because of his situation playing with the Chargers. If nothing else, that is the sole reason why he is on this list. He is very athletic. He just hasn't been able to produce. I will say with Seattle, a lot of injuries. Jared Cook had a solid season with the Chargers last year, and I expect Everett to at least perform similar, and obviously if he can remain healthy, exceed what Jared Cook did for the Chargers in 2021. So that is why he is on this list. Irv Smith is on this list, tight end with the Vikings. Yes, Kurt, Cousins is his quarterback. Kirk Cousins hasn't been as bad as what we think. We just assume he's bad, but when you look at his stats, he hasn't really been as bad. We know that Smith missed the entire season with a knee injury. Conklin had a solid season for the Vikings at the tight end position in 2021, and that was supposed to be obviously Smith, and it didn't go as well. But Conklin is with the Jets now. Conklin had what, 593 yards as a tight end, and he wasn't the number one or the number two target. Smith has the potential to perform and produce similar stats. We know that he is obviously better than Conklin. We know that Smith is athletic. He was supposed to be that guy to take over after Kyle Rudolph left the building, but injuries occur, and so obviously 2021 wasn't going to be the season, and we're expecting 2022 to be that year. Adam Thielen is starting to decline, so look for Irv Smith to finally have the season that we've all been waiting for this year. So again, in a two tight end league, it's a no-brainer. This is going to be his year, and you want to be on the side of I have him on my team. So pick him up because he should be on waivers, or you can definitely prioritize him late in your draft. You don't have to draft any of these guys early. That's one of the main reasons why these guys are on this list. When you think of Irv Smith, you think of opportunity, and the talent is there. So that is why he is on this list, and it's going to pay off. And when you think of Gerald Everett, you think of the fact that he's with a high-powered offense and a very good quarterback. So there shouldn't be any reason for him to at least get 500 plus yards and at least 3 to 4 touchdowns as a tight end for the Chargers this year. Maybe even more. We'll have to see. But yes, prioritize those two tight ends late, especially if you're in a two tight end league. Russell Gage with Tampa. Yes, the biggest factor is he's got Tom Brady as his quarterback. Finally got a quarterback. Okay, yes, finally has a quarterback. Yeah, we all know Matt Ryan was struggling a little bit with Atlanta, but I think everybody struggled in Atlanta the last few seasons. But that is the main thing. He's playing with Tom Brady. You also have to understand that Godwin is hurt. We don't know when he's going to return. There's no AB. There's no Gronk. Only person who's going to get those targets is Mike Evans. And you're going to have to throw the ball to someone else. Tom is going to have to find someone else other than Evans, and it's going to be Russell Gage. We already know he had 770 yards, 66 receptions from a terrible Falcons team this past season. What do you think he's going to do with a better team and stability on offense, a better quarterback? It's going to be better results. He can at least hit 900 to 1,000 yards this season. Never had one, but that's a big stretch for me. But think about it again, 770 with the Falcons last year, and they were terrible. A better team, you should see better results statistically, and that is why he is on this list. He has the opportunity. He's definitely the other wide receiver because we don't know again with Godwin, and all of those other guys are no longer there. So it's opportunity, better situation, better quarterback, better offense. So many positives as to why you should be drafting him, and you don't have to draft him early. So pick up Russell Gage on waivers, because in some leagues he may be on waivers still. If not, when you are approaching your upcoming draft and it's getting late and you're looking at players you want to draft, Russell Gage should be on your radar. Austin Hooper, tight end with the Titans, finally got out of the Browns. That was just a horrible mess. Not a good decision for him to go there. He did. This is going to be a redemption year for him. He's going to have a very good season this year. We already know so far Treylon Burks is looking like an early bust. I think he'll come out of that. However, right now, if we were to start the season, we wouldn't have the confidence in Treylon Burks. We know that Woods is still recovering from knee surgery. So who the hell is Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball to? We obviously know at some point it's going to have to be Treylon Burks, but we aren't confident in Treylon Burks right now. We know that the Titans are a run first team, but we also know that AJ Brown is no longer there. Burks hasn't been what they expected so far. Woods is recovering, which means Austin Hooper is going to get some targets, and he easily should have a one of his season statistically comparative to when he played for the Falcons. Anything he does this year with the Titans is going to be better than what he's done with the Browns. Okay. Thing is with Austin Hooper, he is going undrafted in some of these drafts or on waivers or being taken very late, not prioritized. I'm seeing even some of the rookie tight ends go ahead of him. So prioritize Austin Hooper. Draft him with confidence because who the hell else is Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball to with confidence that we know of right now? Because Woods, we don't know if he's going to start. We don't know if he's going to be available to start the season. And Burks, we don't know if he's going to be consistent and if and when he is going to be consistent for the Titans. So Austin Hooper, thank me now, y'all. No, draft Austin Hooper or pick him up, whichever. And Marlon Mack, that's right, running back with the Texans. We all know that Marlon Mack has all the talent in the world, but he is kind of like Rashard Penny, unable to sustain any type of health. Health is wealth. Availability is important. Unable to stay on the field because he simply cannot sustain any good health. That has been his issue. Well, fresh start with the Texans. Let's see if he can stay healthy. He can produce if he's healthy. Think about it. He's going to have to be the lead back, okay? Sorry, he's the lead back. I know at some point they may start looking at Pierce a bit, and that's fine. But Marlon Mack should be prioritized a little bit higher in these drafts than what he has been going. And it's going to pay off if you do draft him. So draft him. He may even be on waivers because a lot of people have given up on him because of the injuries. This is a huge second chance for Marlon Mack. He's the starter. That is it. That is what you need to know. He's the starter. He's the starter, and he is the starter. And no one's going to take that spot from him if he can remain healthy and produce. He's capable of producing, but the question is he capable of remaining healthy? If he can remain healthy, he will be the guy for the Texans, and you want to have a starting running back. You don't want to start a running back on waivers, or you don't want to wait and let a starting running back like a Marlon Mack or even a Rashard Penny be drafted by someone else to come off their bench when you can have him coming off your bench. I'm not saying draft him to be one of your starters. You can draft him as a player to help with depth in the event that you're dealing with injuries by weeks. That's what I look at sometimes with my sleepers, players who can help me produce in the event that my other guys aren't able to go, or players that I can use to acquire other assets. If Marlon Mack is having a very good season for you, you may be able to move him for something else, which may help you win. You just got to analyze the situation and make sure you make the right choice. But if you can draft him, then you need to draft him with confidence and know that if he's healthy, he's going to produce for your team. All right, y'all, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you play fantasy football and you're looking for great content to help you prepare for your upcoming season to achieve your ultimate goal, winning your league. We have a lot of great content which should help you prepare and achieve all of your goals in fantasy football, especially winning your league. Leave some comments and let me know some sleepers you are considering drafting in your fantasy football dynasty league.
Thanks for listening to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast.